Hi, welcome back to 1.5, solve quadratic equations. This is our last example, example 5. It says determine the value or values of k for which the expression is equal to 0, so that it'll have two equal real roots or two distinct real roots. Okay, two equal real roots, that is this case right here, two equal real roots. That's where b squared minus 4ac equals 0. Okay, they want to know what should k be in order for that to happen. Okay, two real distinct roots, that just means that b squared minus 4ac is greater than 0. Well, what does k need to be for this to always be true? So let's go ahead. Let's start off with part A. Okay, let's switch colors. So two equal real roots occurs when b squared minus 4ac equals 0. So in my expression up here, I have a value for A, I have a value for B, and I have a value for C. It's K. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to substitute those in to here. Okay, we already set this to 0, so it's already set up to give us two equal real roots. So we want to find out what K needs to be for this to happen. So if B is 4, I'm going to plug that in. A is 1, plug that in. And C is K. Notice I can solve for K in this. 4 squared is 16. Then we have minus 4k equal to 0. Okay, we'll just add 4k to both sides to get this to rearrange. And we have 16 equals 4k. Divide both sides by 4. And we're left with k equal to 4. So we could say, therefore, k, let's say k must be equal to 4. K must equal 4 in order for the expression to have two equal real roots. All right, let's look at part B now. So we want to find two real distinct roots. So what we actually did is we just said that k should be equal to 4, right? And when that happens, you can see that this quadratic here, which has a positive leading coefficient, so it's opening up, it only has one solution. So it means the vertex is somewhere on the x-axis. So if I want there to be two real distinct roots, then my expression needs to shift downwards. That way the parabola moves down, and then I have two solutions. So if you think of it in that sense, as long as I make k smaller than 4, this will shift down and I'll be satisfying that criteria of two real distinct roots. So I can actually answer part B just by doing that. So that's one way. So for part B, I can say k must be anything smaller than 4 for there to be two distinct real solutions. I can also solve this algebraically like I did over here. Okay, and I'll do that real quickly as well. So the b squared minus 4ac, the discriminant, in order to have two real solutions, we know this needs to be greater than 0, okay? Not equal to 0 like last time, right? To get one solution, it has to be greater than 0 to get two solutions. So I'm going to plug in my values for b, a, and c. So I remember b was 4, and a was 1, and c was also just k. That was our unknown, yeah. All right, 4 squared is 16. we have minus 4k greater than 0. So I can actually solve this inequality. All I got to do is move this term over to this side, and then I can isolate for k. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to subtract, or sorry, I'm going to add 4k to both sides. Get rid of this. Whatever you do to one side, do to the other. And now I can just divide out 4 on both sides. Now there is a rule with inequalities. Whenever you're dividing or multiplying by a negative value, you need to flip this inequality. But for us, we don't have to worry about that. This is positive, and most likely it will be in all your homework as well. Um, some of those scenarios will come up later on down the road, way down the road, and we'll deal with those later. But you could just make a mental note of that. Whenever you're working with inequalities, if you ever divide by a negative value, you have to flip this the other way. But we don't need to worry about that just yet. So we're going to have k smaller than 4. Okay, and you can see that's exactly what we had kind of said earlier, right? If you remember, this quadratic has one solution. Well, if I make k smaller, I can get it to shift down, and then I can get two solutions. So just to recap real quickly, for A, k needed to equal 4. For part B, k just needs to be smaller than 4. Those are my two answers. Okay, that's it for lesson 1.5. At this point, you'll want to check the notebook for the assigned work. Hope this was helpful, and I'll see you later.